Today we're driving the 2021 Hyundai Elantra Hybrid. Now Chris wasn't able to be out here for this drive event, so I'm Charlie from Daily Motor doing a little cameo drive for him. You can see more of our content over at Daily Motor, as well as a dedicated sound system review for this Elantra's Bose 8-speaker audio system. Now this is an all-new model for Hyundai here in 2021. Not only is the Elantra dramatically refreshed, but the hybrid powertrain powering this one is new as well for this model. 1.6 liter engine paired up with an electric motor, giving this in the limited trim about 50 miles per gallon expected from EPA combined. And if you get the base hybrid trim, you're looking at up to 54 miles per gallon. Pretty strong numbers, definitely class competitive. I think it looks really sharp with some of these designs. Interestingly, Hyundai went with a plastic deck lid in order to get some of these sharp design angles in here. If this comes in clear enough in the sunlight, you can see we've got Elantra lettering just like the new Sonata and Palisade. Definitely bringing the Elantra up to spec with the design elements of those other cars. We don't have the fancy little Hyundai badge hood pop like you do in the Sonata, but that works fine enough. In the back, just standard fare trunk. It's a sedan after all, and even being the hybrid, you're not giving up any sort of cargo space. You have a compact spare, so that's good to see. Fold down the rear seats. Actually just going to fold one down. Let's leave that open. Bring this down. You can see not a flat load floor, not a very large opening either, but gives you a little something extra to work with should you need a bit more space. I think the Ioniq would afford you a little bit more cargo space overall though in its hatchback design. Back seat has plenty of knee room. I'm 5'10", no problems there. However, my head is encroaching the top of the vehicle. I'd be comfortable enough back here for an hour or two, but not exactly luxurious. No power points back here, minimal cup holders, storage areas. You do have a center flip down rest, but just two more hard cup holders and that's it. Now this is a pre-production model, so we'll try not to do too much evaluation on materials, but the Elantra's been pretty good. Coming up front here, you can just see very nice, handsome redesign of the interior. Very neat gauges there, which switch in sport mode to these red, more aggressive looking gauges. Good new infotainment screen. Few new button icons, but overall operation is similar, if not the same, to other Hyundai models. Good map and navigation software. Wireless device charging, and what's actually kind of neat is they actually have an active cooler as well, so it can charge your device and keep it cool, so when you grab it, it's just about ambient temperature rather than it being boiling hot smartphone after sitting in the wireless charger, which you may have experienced with other devices. It's also nice to see heated and cooled seats in a car in this class. All right, let's get on the road. You hear that hybrid whir that Hyundai puts in there to let pedestrians and others around you know that the car's moving. Driving impressions, the car's a little bit bland. It's a hybrid, it's a compact sedan. It's by no means sporty either from the powertrain or the steering feel. The suspension's competent enough, but it's not going to inspire any sort of corner carving. Driving along here on the Pacific Coast Highway, Southern California. Put my foot down, even put it into sport mode. You feel the weight of the car shift around. It's a car certainly more intended for driving around the city, getting good fuel economy, has no sporting intentions. That's not a complaint, it's not a bad thing. It's good for cars to fit their intended purpose. Does drive better than a Prius. I'd go as far as to say it does feel better than an Ioniq as well. The Ioniq does feel a little bit more utilitarian. The Elantra at least feels like its relatives have sporting intentions. This one just rides smooth. Steering's well weighted. It's a little vague and numb. There's a woolliness right off center. It never really loads up. Out here on the twistier roads, the Elantra Hybrid is competent. There's nothing exactly exciting about it. It does auto upshift once it gets to its desired shift point. Ooh, a little lift-off oversteer there. Do still have the excellent sounds of nature feature that Hyundai's been putting into their vehicles. You go here and you have everything from a crisp, crunchy, snowy village sound to an open-air cafe to calm sea waves. You can see there's the rear end of another one. Looks pretty good, looks sharp. Can't even really see the Elantra badging on that one, being silver on silver. Or I should say chrome on silver. I still feel like this center touch area was designed sitting, like in the warehouse, in the development design studio. Because while you're driving, it's just so far away, but when you're just sitting there, you don't realize that it doesn't feel right to have your back pulled so far forward. Out here on the highway, the Elantra Hybrid is perfectly fine. Road noise is a little bit louder than I'd like. Just hearing a little bit of sound through the tires. I assume sound deadening wasn't their top priority. Probably trying to keep the weight down a little bit for fuel economy and cost. It also probably has some low rolling resistance tires that may be focusing on economy a little bit more than road noise reduction. Either way, other than that, wind noise is good. So far, comfort's been good. I really appreciate what Hyundai's been doing with their steering wheels. Nice multi-spoke design, allowing you to put your hands here, here, down here. Even has the little cutouts for your thumb rest. Overall, just a very nice cabin in general. It's also cool to see standard blind spot monitoring. As we pass a vehicle here, you'll see a little bit of a red triangle come up, just letting me know, there we are, that there's a vehicle in my blind spot. It's a handsome implementation of blind spot monitoring. It kind of goes along with the aesthetic of the Elantra in general, trying to look sharp, mature, and a little bit unique in this segment. Armrest provides a good place to rest your elbow in the center. Same on the outside, you have some squishiness for your elbow on the left. I still maintain, though, sitting here resting on the highway, that the touchscreen is too far away. If I have my back leaned back in the seat, it's full extension. I can't press any of the buttons and anything on the screen, even being 5'10". Same goes for the climate control. This is all, even though it looks good, it's very far away from the driver, and I think that was a bit of a misstep on Hyundai's part in the design of the cabin. Another thing a little bit strange to see is the fact that there's just a standard shift knob big here. It's big, it's chunky, doesn't really go along with the forward design of this Elantra hybrid. You'd think you'd be seeing one of the shifters from the Palisade or Sonata in here, a little bit more compact, possibly allowing for a little bit more room in the center console. Automatic climate control seems to be working well, and I do really appreciate that Hyundai has been implementing automatic fan controls into their climate control. So you can see way down here, you've got auto 1, 2, and 3, allowing for different fan speed limits. I think that really adds to the general appeal of automatic climate control. Makes it feel like a more luxurious vehicle in general. It's a bit of a bummer to not see the blind spot cameras coming up in the dash. That's something that you're seeing on other Hyundai products, and it's something that you actually see in the Honda Civic ever since 2016, when they came out with the most recent Civic. When you turned your right blinker on, you would see the blind spot camera come up in the center display. So it's definitely something that competitors have been able to put in at this price point. A little bit of a shame to not see Hyundai put that in, especially because it's so cool the way they integrate that. But I could see that being an expensive system. Maybe it's something they'll offer in future models. This is a pre-production car, meaning that some of the features and driving dynamics of this model that I'm driving here today may not make it to the final production cars that you'll see on dealership lots. But it gives us a general idea. So far, over 21.4 miles of, I'd say at this point, about half and half highway and city driving. Stop and go, we've been getting 43 miles per gallon. This hybrid is estimated to be able to get at least 50 miles per gallon in mixed driving according to the EPA cycle. That's what Hyundai is shooting for and expecting. That's what we're seeing on other Hyundai hybrid models. So I would like to see that number go up a little bit as we drive. We're just kind of keeping an eye on my estimates right now. We'll see what happens. It has been going up a little bit, but I think 50 may be a bit lofty. Ambient temperature outside 63 degrees. The sun's pretty strong, so AC is definitely working, but definitely not like it would be on something like a 90-degree day. And there we see the blind spot monitor letting me know that truck was just clearing itself out of the way. It's one of the sort of downsides about blind spot monitoring is sometimes, especially in busy traffic situations like this, it's best to get your blinker on before the car has actually cleared you, and the car's like, whoa, look out, you can't merge yet, there's a car there. And it's like, yes, I know, I'm just preparing. So, fortunately, those features can be turned off. The Elantra, both in hybrid and standard gas form, actually offer quite a bit of standard safety equipment. It's really nice to see Hyundai making that commitment to safety, even at the $20,000 price point in the base Elantra models. You've got forward collision avoidance and warning, standard blind spot monitoring. I think you've got some sort of rear cross-traffic alert standard as well. Top-level Elantras feature an 8-speaker Bose stereo system. This one sounds pretty decent. If you want to see more, Daily Motor will have a dedicated review to that sound system. So check out the link in the description and check out their channel for that coverage. But if you don't want to watch the whole thing, just know that it sounds pretty good, especially for this price point. It does have a rear deck subwoofer. Not the crispest system we've ever heard, but really not too bad. And the inputs are good. The system does also feature Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support, so no shortness of connectivity there. Overall material quality feels good. Don't want to judge too harshly considering this is a pre-production model, but I appreciate that all the touch points feel solid. The blinkers, the shifter, volume knob and climate control knobs are pretty standard for this class. Overall, the Elantra's been a solid player in this segment for many years now. And it's nice for Hyundai to be breathing some fresh life into the model. They've been doing some refreshes and keeping the last generation up to date. But I think this one is much more attractive. I think it's a solid package. Just like everything Hyundai's been putting out recently. Can't really go wrong with it. It's not necessarily better than anything else in the segment slam dunk like the Palisade, but very solid car. Now we're seeing just over 46 miles per gallon, so that's definitely still going up, and we're going up as well, rising in elevation. So I think those EPA fuel economy numbers are certainly achievable. Probably won't be getting them at 75 miles per hour on open highway, but definitely strong numbers nonetheless on the highway. It is neat that Hyundai uses a 6-speed automatic transmission rather than a CVT like many other hybrids. So you can actually shift this big clunky shifter here down into different gears. The car will shift itself up once it gets to the next shift point. And shifts are by no means quick either, you can see. There's a decent delay. So I guess it's kind of nice that they included the manual shift mode, but certainly nothing necessary. What I would have liked to see is some sort of manual regen adjustment. But for this not being a plug-in hybrid, just being a standard hybrid with a little bit weaker electric motor, I'm not too disappointed. So there we are, the 2021 Hyundai Elantra Hybrid. Cool to see Hyundai committing to the sedan game, adding another hybrid player. Nothing earth-shattering, but certainly a competent hybrid sedan. Thank you all so much for watching, getting us close to 200,000 subscribers here on the TheTopher. In fact, once this posts, actually it'll probably be over 200,000 subscribers. So thank you all so much for that. Check out Daily Motor if you would like to see a little bit more cool car content. And we'll see you all in the next one.